So it was actually quite a short earnings call. Basically, most of it was bragging about streaming profits and the fact that they actually are doing better than expected. You know, which is good, I guess. Which is good, I guess. I don't know. I've seen people digging into the numbers and they say they're really not as good as they're telling people. I don't really know if this was a great reason to have it early in the morning. And they talked about like the different shows. No mention at all of Lucasfilm. So you're kind of sitting here going, okay, you're not talking about Lucasfilm. You're not giving the fans something to talk about. In fact, Iger didn't utter the word Star Wars or Lucasfilm at all. He talked about Marvel. The investors, I think from Barclays, asked about Marvel, and they're reducing again. They're reducing output. They're reducing output at Lucasfilm. We know that. No mention of Skeleton Crew, which there's been some really good information coming out about that, and I think it's going to end up being the sleeper hit. But I'll dig it out and I'll do a video. I'll do an upload. I am kind of disappointed. There's a reason why I cut my first live short today. It was just a bunch of financial mumbo jumbo. And I listened to all of it, but I don't think you guys would be very amenable to sitting down for an hour or 45 minutes, less than 45 minutes, to listening to this. But they're decreasing output across the board on streaming, heading into quality. That he said this. The last of this, basically, I'm going to paraphrase it. I'm going to have to go back and listen. Basically, Iger said, the last of the output that was too much is coming out this summer. The Acolyte? Okay, The Acolyte. All right, that's the only one I could think of. And of course, maybe some Marvel titles. But the moment he said that, my ears pricked up. But he said nothing about Mando and Grogu. He said nothing. He didn't make any announcement about the CEO, new CEO. He said they're still the commissioner, the board is still meeting. The people that were picked from the board of directors is still meeting to discuss who. And nothing about changes in studio leadership. And again, I was right. I thought that would be something that you would announce in a press release late in the afternoon, maybe have a press conference later. Okay, that, or mid-afternoon, which would be what? And it's Disney is overhauling MCU output. They're overhauling Lucasfilm output too. And now that I think about it, I think the issues with Tales of the Empire is part of that. The last of the bad stuff is coming out. It's like when a person gets constipated and they're finally push all the yuck out, all of a sudden there's a bunch of loose yuck coming out with it. This is the only way I can describe it. So I don't like potty humor any more than anybody else, but that is the only way to describe the sewage of Tales of the Empire 4 through 6 and The Acolyte. It's just backed up, constipated crap that, and again, Iger had a choice. We can either ruin Lucasfilm forever by making a movie about Rey, which officially he's never said a word about, and he is the only one that I would listen to on this. Or we can do this stupid TV show funded by God knows who, from God knows what agency, from God knows what country. God save our gracious King. Okay. Um, and we can take it off of Disney Plus when people are done, when it's like at the end of whatever. Okay. I don't think Willow, the TV show, was on longer than a year on Disney Plus before they canceled it. They took it off. Um, The Acolyte's already 63% dislikes on its second trailer. The comments are Harvey this and Harvey that. Hey, Jacob. Yeah, Jacob is right. I mean, so they didn't make an announcements. And again, while silence frustrates people that are they need to hear good news. Okay. It frustrates me because I'd like to say, hey, Kennedy's out. I mean, they announced that she's on an extended leave of absence and she's not coming back. Her contract has been bought out and she's leaving, and so did I, Jacob, so did I. And I added a couple of nasty comments, I think, too. Um, uh, so they could say that her contract runs out at the end of October when we haven't renewed it. Okay, so she's gone. If they'd say that, okay. Now, everything I said doesn't excuse Tales of the Empire 1 through 6, or episodes 4 through 6. But like I said yesterday, one of my Spanish language speakers said that, all right, Spain has they, them kinds of pronouns that are used by weirdos, right? People who don't know which bathroom to use, men who fetishize women's bodies and then follow little girls into bathrooms, or who think they should be able to compete in women's sports because they get their asses kicked in men's sports. Okay. Basically, the mentally ill and dangerous of the male gender, and the weak of the male gender. So they have those. The thing is, I do too, actually, Jacob. The thing is, those terms that are used in at least Spanish, which is a very gendered language like German, there's masculine, feminine, and neuter. Okay, in German. Der, die, and das. All right. They didn't use those in the Spanish language at all on that. So I'm looking at this going, I think the they, them shit, which completely takes you out of the show, is Jacob, I'm gonna make you a wrench. So now you're a moderator, okay? When you put something like that in there and it's only for one part of your audience, it's a fuck you to that part of the audience. That's the only thing I can see. And if what I think is going on, I think you're going to see changes in the animated side. Okay. Well, I'm glad to have you on board. You're going to see change on the animated side that will, and the people who write things. Do I blame Dave Filoni? Only as far as he should have said, you can't do this. You can't, I mean, and again, you got to look at him and go, why was that only in the English language? All right. His wife is woke. I would not get along with her. She doesn't take care of herself. She doesn't, to me, every woman out there should take care of their skin, their health, and try to actually look attractive. Okay. There are at least 3 different, most of the women that are on the woke side look like burned out hags at the age of 40. Okay. I'm not saying I don't look burned out, but I'm older than them. And I go out of my way to do, for my hair and makeup and, you know, uh, clothes and everything. If you see me in a t-shirt, that's just because I've been either with the horse or putzing around in the garden. Okay. But anyway, that doesn't make him necessarily wanting to be woke on the show. So what happened? I would ask him if I was Bob Iger, what was that about? Because you only do shit like that to piss people off, okay? And it triggered people. I hate that word, but the only way I can describe it is because when I first saw the show, I thought that Jedi was a guy, and then she opened up her mouth, and I'm like, okay, well, whatever. And then I thought, but I didn't pay any attention, okay, because I was starting to lose interest. Because Barriss started acting like a Jedi and not an Inquisitor. And that's where I started losing interest, was she goes from doing something completely evil to being good cop, and then suddenly just leaving and turning into a healer. That's not the character arc. I mean, that is not who tried to blow up the Jedi Temple, which was an act of evil, in my opinion. And I'm looking at this going, what the fuck? Okay. And then you've got people who don't really pay attention to Star Wars, but they're going to have an opinion, saying that, well, the Imperials are using pronouns. It's like she's not an Imperial. She's not anymore. She was going back to the light side. So no, it's like, don't be stupid. Okay. It was just the whole thing. Episodes 4 through 6, Tales of the Empire, sucked. Okay. It was bad. And it's the first time I've seen an animation beyond the stupidity of Resistance, that animated garbage, that I was like, what the fuck, Dave? How much control does he have on that? Him being the executive producer, I think he was a director of a couple of episodes. But you know what I'm saying? This is a complicated thing. So while I'm not rationalizing, because I think he does have to answer for it, I'm also looking at that whole thing going, somebody was pissed and decided to put pronouns in this particular version, only for English-speaking audiences. Okay. Or maybe they didn't realize that Spain and German and every other place has got their stupid pronouns too. Okay, I don't know. Which, woke people are stupid. It wouldn't surprise me. Anyway, I wanted to go and talk a little bit more about this. The big announcement was, I think, talking happily about funny monkey business with the books. I don't know. Anyway, gotta go. I'm gonna go get some stuff done today. I've got some more planting to do in my garden. I'm gonna go see the horse and basically have my day. So you guys all have a good afternoon. Take care, be well, and I will see you around the galaxy.